Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. Apologize for the fan noise, but it's very hot today. But I wanted to get about on this a certain topic about Kuina and Toshiba, but not in the way you think. Um, Obviously, they're two very important characters in the series because of the plot when it comes to Zoro or Zolo, if you watch the 4Kids dub in the beginning. Um, so, you're probably going to be thinking, well, what are we talking about them? Because obviously they do have a connection, but you're not going to be thinking about the connection. I'm not going to be talking about the connection that they actually have. I'm going to be talking about what 4Kids did. Now, for anybody who doesn't know, 4Kids was my first exposure, so I do have an obligation more for 4Kids because they did get me into One Piece. I do like the voice actors, most of them that did the characters in the 4Kids dub. So I'm more forgiving than other YouTubers on here that are One Piece fans. However, obviously, it was a horrible script. Let's not deny that. It was a terrible script. But what I want to talk about is the Toshiba and Kuina dynamic that 4Kids indirectly created. That has made me more interested in these characters. Now, I've talked about this on my Discord channel before, and have talked about this, what 4Kids did. Now, do I believe that 4Kids did this on purpose? No. They did this strictly because of a censorship issue that led to this Mandela Effect Mandela Effect that 4Kids indirectly created to the viewers' minds that are watching it. Because of that, it always interested me even long after the 4Kids dub had ended. Even though Funimation's dub had picked it up, it is not something that was really addressed on broadcast for the Funimation version until it obviously came back on TV years later, with, the Funimation uncut version, yada, yada, yada. But this effect that they created interested me the most out of all the things that 4Kids did. Because I had truly thought for a long time that I was really the only person who may have thought about it, because when I brought it up to some people, they were like, huh, what? And I was just like, no, I remember this. I remember this in the 4Kids version. This did happen. And obviously, the manga, the sub version, the Funimation version, this is not an issue. But it exists in the 4Kids version. It did happen, at least on the TV broadcast. So when you're watching it as a kid, I think it was either 13 or 14 at the time when I was watching it, because I was still watching Saturday morning cartoons and 4Kids at the time, even at 14. So I was still very much not in the incline of censorships and stuff like that, even as old as getting into middle school, into high school, just yet. So I was very late on figuring that stuff out. Point being is, this effect that 4Kids created by Toshiba and Kuina were something that I thought was something that just didn't sit well. Because not in a bad way, but in a mysterious way. And it was the fact that I thought Tashigi and Kuina were one and the same. And there's a lot of reason to believe this. And like I said, when I would bring this up, a lot of people were like, okay, but they didn't know or didn't remember it, but recently in a comment that I made when the censorship was brought up, about, how Kuina was, basically, killed in the Funimation version, or killed in the sub or manga version, whatever. She was killed. However, in reality, she wasn't actually killed in the 4Kids version. She was instead made to look like that she survived somehow. And they downplayed this. Now, why was this done? It's simple. 4Kids did this because, one, she was a kid. They didn't want a kid being killed. And two, they didn't really want anybody getting killed, quite frankly, in the 4Kids version. So this was the main reason why it was done. It wasn't done because of what we're discussing right now. Like, they didn't, 4Kids, in their great writing wisdom, that's being sarcastic, by the way, they did not realize that what they were going to be doing here was going to make the viewers think that, hey, maybe this is the same person. And, considering the fact you hired the same voice actor to play Tashigi and Kuina, it's kind of hard to not realize why me and other people might have thought that they were one and the same. But this was the consequence that 4Kids created. The unattractive consequence 4Kids made by creating this. And so in a recent thing here, which I'm going to show right now, this was the
it's just a matter
censored
of time.
version. There'll be a full video of this, link in the description.
Promise me.
This is basically
One day,
what
either
they
you
did.
or I will become
Obviously,
the best
they
swordsman in all
censored
the
touching food or whatever, but they made this change to make it look like humanity didn't dominate, basically, in the 4Kids version. And because of this, and because Tashigi and Kuina basically looked the same, because they looked the same and they had the same English voice actor, it's easy to understand why viewers like myself would actually think they were one and the same. And again, I thought this was an effect that I was thinking of, just from me, obviously there's a lot of Mandela effects out there. For a lot of people thinking, people still think that Pikachu had a black tipped tail as a male, back in the day, which I never even knew that was a thing. The only time I remember it was ever when the female got one, which was much later in life, obviously. But point being is there's been Mandela effects that have been out there. So maybe that was just something that I was thinking of. But then I recently did a comment on that video from the very clip that you seen, which I'll link the full video in the description for you guys to look for that comparison. But so this was something that I commented on that video about a few months ago, and I said, as a kid watching this, I literally thought Tashigi and Kuina were the same person, especially since they had the same voice actor. Tashigi's name hadn't been revealed yet, which that is true, by the way. Tashigi's name had not been revealed in the 4Kids dub yet. Not sure if that was the case in the manga or the Funimation version, but I'm almost certain it wasn't by that point. But it doesn't matter, because we're strictly talking about the 4Kids version, because that was the only dub yet out there yet at the time. And Zolo, aka Zoro, even though that she was Kuina. So the way 4Kids set this up made people believe that they were the same person. So that's what I commented, and then within not too long after, I got a ton of thumbs up for this. As of right now, it's sitting at 203, and then another person commented saying, I thought so too. Was really curious to know if they found out if Zoro would find out about her being his long-lost friend who he swore to become the best swordsman, who's fighting against him, opposing sides, when that wasn't the case. And again, this is a true thing, because again, the way the dialogue was set up was both of these two were kids that wanted to be the best swordsman out there. One of them had to be the best swordsman. And, you know, obviously Kunini was, she had the sword skills better than Zoro at the time when she was a kid. But obviously he was going to get better than her as he got older. But he made the promise that, you know, one of them had to be the best swordsman. So again, this, you know, being the fact that 4Kids censored her death, that took away that element of luster for Zoro, because Zoro in the 4Kids dub doesn't know that she's dead. Like, and as a matter of fact, there is dialogue of him still trying to discover her. You know, trying to find her, trying to find where she is. And so when Tashigi is revealed in the dub, and she has the same hairdo, same hair color as Kunini, it's kind of hard to not believe it. Look at this. Same. I thought somehow the lost memories of him or something, which had also why she never became anywhere near as good as Zoro was with the sword. So, you know, like I said, a lot of people thought, you know, not just me, a lot of people thought these two were the same. And again, when you have the same English voice actor for both characters, and you both have the same hair color, okay. Now, I know some people are going to come on the comment section and be like, oh, Tashigi had black hair in the manga, and she has black hair now in the post-time slip, or yada, yada, yada. Fact of the matter is, in the anime, she didn't. She had blue hair in the original parts of the anime. She was animated that way. She had that. It's what happened. It was even animated that way in the Funimation version. That was the original anime cut of it, was she had blue hair. And kids like me at the time weren't reading that manga. So people wanted to pick that up, or most people wanted to, at least. So when you see that on the anime screen, you see she has blue hair, you see that she had the English voice actor, and I wasn't really looking up on the internet at the time too, quite frankly. We didn't have internet at my mom's house, so I wasn't looking up stuff on the internet at the time to try and find out if Tashigi and Kunini were not the same person. So you gotta also take that into account as well. And I'm sure a lot of other people were like that at the time, because the internet wasn't still like something that you had to have back in 2006. It wasn't. It was not something in 2006 my mom wanted to get at the time. So it wasn't something that where I could just go on a computer and be like, hey, are these people the same people or not? You know what I'm saying? So there was that as well too. So again, the whole black blue hair thing doesn't matter, because again, it was not animated that way. Now, some people still even try to debate whether she has black or blue hair right now in the post time skip. I've heard some people say that she just has a darker tone blue hair now, where it just looks more black now. And I'm not going to get into that type of debate, because you can all discuss your colorblindness any day you want, but I just don't want to talk. I just don't want to get in that debate. But anyways, point being is, in the anime, until at least the pre-time skip, she had blue hair, and that's all that matters at this point. Same voice actor. As a matter of fact, I think she had the same voice actor even in the Funimation version, both of the characters, which is still really bizarre. That two different characters would have would have the same voice actor. Yes, I kind of know that, obviously in some cases you're gonna have that, but the way both these two characters were portrayed was basically to have the same voice, not try to have a different voice, even if it was the same voice actor. They basically had the same voice tones and everything. So it's not hard to understand why people, especially the way the way 4Kids set up the dialogue and the dub change of these two characters. It is a very, very interesting whole situation. But I'm glad I'm not the only one who thinks this. Because I believed it at the time. And it is just always, not many people really talk about it either, too, by the way. So that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it, because it's just something, maybe it's just more of me and some of the other people that watch the 4Kids dub that just notice this stuff. And, it's just something that I've always thought of, and I don't know, maybe it just made me connect more to the characters more that way. I don't think I would think anything of these characters today if it wasn't for the fact that these were characters that were indirectly somehow interest me, because it was kind of a mystery that never should have been a mystery. But 4Kids made it a mystery that should have never been a mystery, because it was right dab front of us, but then 4Kids decided to censor that. I don't know. Point being is, I just think it's very interesting that these two characters were somehow made to be believed to be one and the same, but in reality they're not. Now, in the actual version, these two are somehow unconfirmed, but is rumored to be sisters. This has still not been confirmed by the manga or the Funimation or sub version, to my knowledge. Kuina and Tashigi is a very interesting it's a very interesting thing. It is a very interesting thing that was set up that we're thinking about. At least I'm thinking, and I'm glad there are other people besides me that are thinking the same thing. Also, to bring up, yes, Kuina and Tashigi do have different names, obviously, but at the same time, during this version of the 4Kids version, as a viewer's perspective, you probably have the mindset of thinking that, well, they could just be, having a different name now. Like maybe, since, Kuina, was trying to be a samurai originally, she changed occupations and wanted to work for the military now. And so she changed her name. That was one of the things I had thought when I was younger. So, the whole two name things wasn't exactly, not a killing, point to this mystery that should have never been a mystery. But from a viewer's perspective, viewing this, that's kind of what I was thinking at the time. So there's that. And so I just kind of wanted to make a video talking about it. Kind of get more closure to me. And since no one else has brought it up, most people that bring up 4Kids stuff these days is just to make fun of it and laugh and, meme on it. Which that's fine. Obviously, it kind of deserves it. But I do think we should start talking more about unironic consequences like this that don't really get talked about that much. Because it does have an effect. It does have an effect when you're watching the show, and then realizing, oh, this is not really what should have happened, but it did. So I do think it matters. Some people might think that this doesn't matter, but it does matter to me, and it mattered to other people, obviously, that were thinking about it. So that's kind of why I make this video. Just more of a discussion about it, and also, if you're watching this, let me know if you fell into the same trap as well when you watched the 4Kids version. If you thought they were one and the same person. What do you guys think about it? I'd like to know. Let me know, guys. Comment, rate. If you like this for my videos, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell for our latest content. I'd really like to know what you guys think, guys, of this. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. And I'm out of here. Peace. Make sure to also subscribe, besides my YouTube channel, the SS Ultimate Goku, my Twitch, the SS Ultimate Goku, Instagram, the SS Ultimate Goku, and my Discord link, which we talk about anime dubs, cartoons, live-action TV series, live-action movies, as well as sports of wrestling and NFL football, all that good stuff. Now I'm out of here. Peace.